Thank you, Susan. And hello from Costa Rica. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and to share with you something about the Earth Charter, its origin, some of the core ideas we can find in it, and how we are working with it. Of course, I'm doing this with the intention to invite you, all those participating in this session, to consider using it in your sphere of work and action, as I think it can serve you in the work you are doing, wherever you are. Let me start by saying that I see the Earth Charter as a seed of change, as a seed to inspire, to help us envision a different world, a seed to be planted in our minds and hearts, in the minds and hearts of people from all over, but also a seed to be planted at the center of the institutions and their decisions. But as we know how it works in the world of seeds, depending on which ground it falls and how much water and sun it gets, that seed can flourish immensely or not. Let me share a few thoughts on its purpose. I think much of the purpose of the Earth Charter is to serve as an instrument to help us to navigate through some difficult decisions, the difficult decisions that we have before us. It also has the purpose of deepening and expanding our consciousness with regards to how we ought to relate to one another in the large community of life that we are part. Formally speaking, the Earth Charter has the purpose to offer an ethical foundation or a framework for a more just, sustainable, and peaceful world. It articulates human shared values and principles that can guide humanity in that direction. In other words, it makes visible what sometimes it's maybe invisible in terms of values and principles. Personally, for over 25 years, I have seen how the Earth Charter has the potential to spark a sense of belonging to the Earth community. Our understanding also and our deep sense of connection and interdependence among ourselves, other living beings, and the large living world. This idea is clearly stated in the Earth Charter Principle 16F, which invites us to seek the right relationships with oneself, other persons, other cultures, other life, Earth, and the large whole of which we are all part. The Earth Charter can also be seen as a compass to help us move towards the direction of a new civilization, towards the direction of a more ecological and kind civilization. Let me share with you where it comes from, where the idea of the Earth Charter comes from. The idea of the Earth Charter emerged prior to the Earth Summit, the Rio 92 Earth Summit, and it was part of the preparatory process of this major United Nations conference. The vision from the beginning, from the outset, was to develop a new charter to guide states and various actors towards sustainability. Similar as we know the Human Rights Declaration, which guides states and various actors regarding what human rights means or should be. And in the case of the Earth Charter, it was envisioned that this charter should focus more on human responsibilities and also in our sense of interdependence. But at that time, in 92, there was no political agreement or political will within the intergovernmental sphere. Therefore, the idea of an Earth Charter was taken to the sphere of civil society, and it was really clear that the process of drafting the Earth Charter should be as participatory and inclusive and as broad as possible. So the Earth Charter is the result of a multicultural and multi-sectoral dialogue and consultation process that took place during the decade of the 90s. It was launched in the year 2000, and since then it became a global movement that really involves individuals and organizations from different parts of the world, and who have simply embraced their charter and are using it in many different ways. For example, UNESCO, as some of you know, adopted 2 resolutions recognizing the importance of the Earth Charter as an ethical framework for sustainable development. One of these resolutions, or the first one, was in 2003, 20 years ago, and the other one in 2019. These resolutions basically encourage member states and partners to use their charter as an educational instrument. Now, let me give you some highlights on its content, the content that you can find in their charter. Their charter is centered on an ethic of care and respect for the community of life. So think about what it means, what comes to your mind when you hear the idea of community of life. And when you envision caring for the community of life, how can you envision that? The Earth Charter text starts with a preamble that invites us to celebrate our diversity, the diversity of cultures and life forms. At the same time, it invites us to celebrate our common humanity. It stresses, for instance, that we are one human family and one Earth community. The preamble is followed by 16 main principles and many supporting principles organized in 4 parts. The first one is respect and care for the community of life. The second organizes the ideas around ecological integrity. The third one organizes principles around the notion of social and economic justice. And the last and 4th part organizes principles and values, ideas around the notion of democracy, nonviolence, and peace. The Earth Charter underlines ideas, concepts, or principles that are sometimes not seen or somehow are not often in our conscious, such as this idea of community of life, that we belong, we are part of a community of life, or ideas such as the importance to recognize that all beings are interdependent and every form of life has values regardless of its worth to human beings. So this notion of utilitarianism. To close, I just want to emphasize that the Earth Charter and the work we do at our education center that is located here in Costa Rica, it's organized around under the framework of the UNESCO chair on education for sustainable development with the Earth Charter, which we established in 2012 together with UNESCO and the University for Peace. And the work we do really seeks to nurture the opposite of the predominant narrative or worldviews that are based on the values of competition, materialism, short-sightedness, or the view, or the worldview that is based on a fragmented thinking, or even the narrative or worldview around individualism and self-centered, self-interest or indifference. But rather, the Earth Charter emphasizes, nurtures, cultivates a narrative or worldview that is really life-centric, systemic, that is focused on the common good, helps us to seek the common good in our decisions, and that it helps us to think about the consequences of the actions and decisions we make every day. It also cultivates and nurtures a narrative or worldview that involves our capacity to feel a deep sense of connection, responsibility, and care for the well-being of all life on Earth. So thank you. I hope you can deepen and reflect on the use of the Earth Charter as an instrument to help you navigate, or as an instrument such as an ethical compass that can help you in your decisions, but also as an ethical reference and as an educational instrument that can help you clarify or examine the values and the consequences of the decisions all of us make every day, and also our institutions. Thank you so much.